What is the fallout from the explosive reunion between Dong-eun and the bullies, and who will face deadly consequences? Let's find out in Season 1, Episode 4 of The Glory. How's it? I'm Evie, and welcome to After the Episode. On this channel, you'll explore unforgettable Korean dramas and anime. The epic action, wild twists, and moving moments. Let's tuck in. In a flashback to 2004, we find Dong-eun studying in a classroom full of other students. Hae-jung and Myung-oh sit beside her and begin to mock her for studying when she should be hanging out with them instead. They've come to fetch her so that they continue their horrific bullying in the gym. 17 years later, Dong-eun is in that same gym with the bullies and reiterates to herself that she will show no mercy towards any of them. She will go to any lengths and there will be no glory. Yes, girl, go get 'em! Dong-eun is having a fantastic time, and Yeonjin is so enraged at Dong-eun's continuous mocking applause that she slaps her. Dong-eun's presence has completely unnerved Yeonjin, and even Jae-jun thinks she's doing too much and has to step in to restrain her. Dong-eun isn't done though. She asks Yeonjin if she achieved everything she had hoped for, a decent job and married to a wealthy, connected man while she was young and pretty. The extent of Dong-eun's knowledge about her personal life is deeply disturbing to Yeonjin, who assumes that Dong-eun has been reading articles about her. Oh, Yeonjin doesn't know the half of it. Can you imagine her reaction if she knew that Dong-eun watches her from the rooftop of her apartment and even sang happy birthday to her from afar during the celebration? Yeonjin, still agitated, demands to know what Dong-eun wants, and Jae-jun tries to de-escalate the situation. He suggests that Dong-eun be the bigger person since Yeonjin is acting like a child. This little bobbed comment is quite pleasing to Hae-jung, considering she was recently humiliated by Yeonjin. Jae-jun remarks how different Dong-eun is now, and that she's become more colorful during their years apart, to which Dong-eun questions with a smirk if he knows what colorful is. The other bullies look at Jae-jun nervously because his colorblindness is a sore subject for him. With a final word to Yeonjin about looking forward to watching her next weather forecast, Dong-eun leaves the gym in triumph. Later that day, Myung-oh finally turns up to work, claiming exhaustion as the reason for his absence. Jae-jun is annoyed, but lets it go because he needs Myung-oh to find out everything he can about Dong-eun. When Myung-oh asks whether Jae-jun needs the information because he had a kid with her, Jae-jun is aggravated by the suggestion and denies it. Myung-oh leaves behind a gift for the red-haired woman that Jae-jun has been entertaining, and Jae-jun carries on with the rest of his evening. His ego is still stinging from Dong-eun's comment about his eyes, so when the red-haired woman calls him blind for not being able to tell she's a redhead, he gets rough with her. Jae-jun is a jerk, so let's catch up with the kind-hearted Yeojong on the anniversary of his father's passing. His father was director of the hospital that he and his mother, the current director, work at. Yeojong's father's life was ended by a patient he was trying to save. Back with the bullies, their group chat is blowing up about Dong-eun's reappearance, and Sara suggests that Myung-oh look into it. For those keeping count, this is the second bully that has asked Myung-oh to investigate Dong-eun. Someone who seems to be enjoying Yeonjin's discomfort almost as much as Dong-eun is Hae-jung, who wonders whether Dong-eun might start a rumor about Yeonjin or even egg her house. Yeonjin can see right through her fake concern, though is momentarily distracted from the group chat when she received a call from her daughter, Yisul. She's walking barefoot because she spilled milk on her shoes, and a worried Yeonjin asks if the homeroom teacher is aware of what happened. Yisul happily reveals that her new homeroom teacher is actually Yeonjin's friend, Dong-eun. Yeonjin is in complete shock and races to the school to confront Dong-eun. At Yisul's school, we meet two of Dong-eun's fellow teachers. One unkind teacher speculates Dong-eun must have gotten her position by spending quality time with the chairman, while the other nice teacher assumes that Dong-eun is connected to the chairman as a relative. At the same time, Yeonjin has arrived at the school to face Dong-eun. In her usual arrogance, she had assumed that Dong-eun would live an unremarkable life. yet finds that she has orchestrated this very scenario, which was years in the making and difficult to accomplish. She yells at Dong-eun that her life should have ended in high school, and Dong-eun calmly lets her know how much fun she's having at this moment in her own classroom where she makes the rules. Hyunjin tries to reassure herself that a nobody like Dong-eun can't actually do anything real, so tells her to do her worst. Throughout this heated showdown, Hyunjin's phone has been blowing up, and we find out why. Haejung tells the group that their former homeroom teacher, who negligently stood by and allowed the bullying to occur, has passed on. Hyunjin is appalled at the news and asks Dong-eun if she had something to do with it. In a flashback, we return to the day when Dong-eun visited the former homeroom teacher and his son. The teacher is surprised to learn that she finished school and became a teacher herself. Dong-eun credits him for her success and wants to thank him with flowers, but he can't take them because of his severe allergies and asthma. Dong-eun offers the flowers to his son instead as a congratulatory gift for passing his school inspector exam. He's pleased to have gotten this far and only has the interview portion left. When he mentions his anxiety over the interview, Dong-eun tells him not to worry. After all, his father was such a good teacher. Before she can go further, the homeroom teacher starts yelling at her, hurling insults and flowers at her. He exclaims that he would have ended her life back in high school. For those keeping count, this is the second time in a week that Dong-eun has heard this. No longer smiling, Dong-eun tells his son that she's going to post on the official forum about what happened to her. She knows that it's not his fault, but then again, it wasn't her fault either all those years ago. Knowing his chances to be school inspector would be greatly diminished because of his father's rumored reputation, he makes the decision to leave his father in his unventilated apartment filled with congratulations flowers. Dong-eun's revenge on the former teacher was for his beloved son to be ashamed of him. I don't know whether she expected the son to actually end the father, but she might have planted that idea when she visited him with the flowers. We rejoin the electric exchange between Dong-eun and Hyunjin in the classroom. Dong-eun explains that Hyunjin is to blame for the homeroom teacher's punishment, and Yi-sul will be her punishment. Hyunjin responds with threats, but Dong-eun points out that there's not much Hyunjin can do to her since she's already crushed her, body and soul. She adds that transferring Yi-sul won't work because she'll just move schools with her. Dong-eun promises Hyunjin that she's going to suffer from that day onwards. Hyunjin leaves the school but stops at a random car park on the way home to crash out. Elsewhere, Hyunam is tailing Haejung. Sitting behind her on the bus, Hyunam discovers her phone password. We haven't gotten to know Hyunjin's husband yet, so let's catch up with Do-young. He's just arrived home from work, and his driver hands him an expensive bottle of wine that he was given as a gift. He stares blankly at the wine and offers it to the driver, who's very uncomfortable and tries to decline. Do-young firmly insists, and the driver takes the wine, thanking him. Do-young is generous, but also aloof, and he definitely has an edge to him. When he's with Yi-sul, though, he's warm and he clearly cherishes her. Dong-eun is aware that Yi-sul's life will never be the same, and she's willing to take accountability for the resentment of the daughter in exchange for revenge on the mother. Someone who's helping Dong-eun out with her revenge is her former school nurse who compiles evidence of her and Soo-hee's injuries at the hands of the bullies. Soo-hee passed away, and Dong-eun was a bystander to her suffering before becoming a victim herself, and now she's the tormentor of the bullies. The nurse lets her know that she was rooting for her in high school and is still rooting for her now. Dong-eun, filled with emotion, promises to win this time around. Myung-woo continues to be useful in this regard. During their meeting, Myung-woo gives Dong-eun information about Sara's substance use and Haejun's new love interest. In exchange for the info, Dong-eun tells him to visit a unit at the morgue of the hospital that Yo-jung works at. He finds out that Soo-hee is still there after all these years, and he's going to get a lot of money from whoever pushed her off the abandoned building. Meanwhile, Hyunjin is spiraling with worry over what harm might befall her daughter. She asks Yi-sul if anyone has hurt her, and Yiso is perplexed as to why anyone would be so unkind. Even her 7-year-old knows right from wrong and believes that anyone who acts that way should be punished. Elsewhere, Yiso's other parent, Do-young, is at the Go Club. He searches for Dong-eun, but when he doesn't see her, he turns to leave. Just as he's at the door, though, Dong-eun arrives and they play Go together for the first time. They strike up a conversation, and Do-young is intrigued by her unusual and unexpected answers. Dong-eun beats him, and I imagine that Yo-jung, her Go teacher, would be very proud. As she's walking away with her winnings, he asks to play another round. Dong-eun has just ensnared another player in her game of revenge. So, what will Myung-ho do with the information that Dong-eun gave him, and will his butterfly wings cause a hurricane? We'll see in my next recap video on episode 5, so check it out. Links are in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.